you don't have a guarantee on how it's going to work out in the future. All you do know is if you're only going to rely on your one income, you're going to get what you have right now.
And you know what? The sad part about our pain is they're saying that they don't know how to figure it out. I assure you, there's someone right up there who's figuring it out.
Yes, that's right.
It's going to get sold. You know what I'm saying? Whether you decide you want to participate or not.
Yes.
It's a scam.
It's a scam. So anyway, so listen, man, we hit this. I mean, this all, man, like I said, when we started the show, there's a lot of topics. I mean, we didn't even hit on the statue. We didn't even hit on the Diddy trial. And I see a lot of stuff on the Diddy trial.
Bruh.
I still want to know where the crime is. Because all the shit they're talking about right now, I'm still waiting for the crime.
Please remember, this is supposed to be 8 weeks long. We on day 5. This is supposed to be an 8-week long trial. All that's happening right now is the prosecutor is setting the base.
Yeah, about the salacious stuff to try to, I guess, weaken the jury to say, okay, this guy's a bad guy. And so they might be succeeding doing that. Okay, I did dig it. But right now, all we hear is salacious stories. You know, and I'm saying, well, okay, where's the crime? Where's the racketeering in all of this?
It's all that baby oil, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it may not, okay, but that's the thing. It may not be one specific thing that is illegal, but the combination of these things is what makes it.
Having freaky sex is not a crime.
All right, big dog.
Having freaky sex is not a crime.
I just want to know what other witnesses are going to take the stand besides.
Yeah, that's what I need. I want to hear. I want to hear.
Yeah, we done seen her.
That's all I want to hear.
Yeah, we done seen her incriminate herself and then switch it up, and she's pregnant. They feeling sorry for her. No, yeah, I understand it. I need to know some other witness because right now they just looking at us. They just building a bad character. That's it. And if that's all they can use with her is her, then to me it's some bullshit. Because if Diddy has been bad, this guy, where is everybody else that he did it? I want to hear from some people that got baby oil rubbed on their back.
Playing for sex in the United States is illegal, and not everywhere.
It ain't illegal in Vegas.
Let me ask you a question: is paying for sex illegal or selling it illegal? Which
You have none. They made millions off of that. Selling it. What are we talking about?
Yo, kidnapping is illegal, that's for sure. But you got to prove that one.
Eating ass is illegal too.
In the state of Virginia, but you know that in the state of Virginia, having sex outside of the missionary position is illegal.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, and feeding a donkey ice cream cones in Arkansas is the law too.
Yeah, I can't, see. Cassie's husband is full of shit too. He had to know beforehand, before she testified, all the shit that she was into.
Yeah,
come on, man.
He had to know, right?
What made him full of shit though?
Come on, man.
He told her she better take that money.
When I say he's full of shit, because they said he stormed out of the courtroom, man. I mean, he had to know this. Maybe he heard some
stop.
shit,
No, don't do that.
He knew, man. He knew.
Say he did know. Say he did know. Are you telling
me boy?
If that was your...
He probably put some of that stuff on it.
He knew.
Go ahead. What you gonna say?
He knew.
Look, man, if you knew this about your wife and you're sitting in the courtroom and you're listening to her say this out, are you really gonna sit there and re-listen to this shit?
Then why go in the first place?
He knew questions was coming up today about that. He knew that shit.
What kind of man would he be if he didn't support his woman?
Oh, okay, there you go.
He support all the way through the salacious shit. Yeah, let him be in my mouth and all this kind of stuff. Man.
But if this is the one you chose, if you know all of these things, and this is the woman I chose, this is the one that I chose, I married her and I put a baby in her. If this is who I chose, I'm gonna support her. I'm not saying that's the choice that I would make, but if that is the choice that one made, then yes, support her. Bring your goofy ass up into the courtroom, and you better sit front row too.
When this is all over, he gonna leave her and take half her money she got from Watch what I tell you. She gonna be crying, talk about how can he do it. And yeah, man, watch what I tell you. He set her up. He ain't gonna listen through all this court trial and hear all these details. He gonna play the long game. 2 years from now, when the baby's walking, guess what? I want a divorce, irreconcilable differences, and I want half her shit, and she gonna be like Holly Berry, paying them motherfuckers for the rest of their lives.
I don't think my children would be as safe around her.
That's right. I want the kids too, right?
Yeah, you gonna get that.
Baby oil. My kids ain't safe with their mom. You know.
Listen, you know what? That's so funny. Listen, P. Diddy is the devil. Okay, he's a devil because he made these Faustian deals with everybody. He found out what they wanted the most, and he says, "Sign. I'm the devil. Sign in blood on the dotted line, and these are the things you have to do to get what you want." And a lot of people signed the document. Guys were booking over, and girls were booking over, and celebrities were booking over, man. And listen, and he was a devil on earth. But still, I still want to know where the crime is.
Listen, they're gonna say he's trafficking, man.
That's what I think.
I think it's kind of funny. You have Didi come out and Vince McMahon come out about the same time.
Say what? Say that again?
I think it's kind of funny. Didi came out with this shit, and then Vince McMahon a few months later.
What about Vince McMahon?
Well, they rounding them up, man. They rounding them all up.
Yeah.
So Pam can catch up. Vince McMahon got caught with several sex trafficking stuff with wrestlers and everything, and he used to pass the women on to other wrestlers to the point they found text messages like he was shitting on their faces and stuff like that.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
But again, all of this type of behavior with them was happening before the election. It's all part of that whole feminist diaspora. It's all part of the election. Men are bad. And understand, we seeing right now how, Diddy was a bad guy, but a lot of people volunteered for that shit. Y'all ain't never heard of Michael Jackson didn't even get a 10-year record deal. Prince, nobody. Who got a 10-year record deal? Nobody. Nobody at all. Who got a 10-year record deal? Nobody.
Some of these Lils and some of these Youngs might be.
No, man. She came.
But if they're not on a 10 record, if they're not on a 10 record deal, they on a 360. So it's.
But she came. But what I'm saying is, she came in understanding her role and everything. She came. She knew what she was doing. Of course, you can't play that game. Then the pool book. I'm sorry.
What basically what Trey's saying is that sometimes you have to change the label on the books for it to read one way, for it to be something else. If he wanted her to be a concubine, he can't just come out and say, "Hey, this is my concubine." He's going to say, "This is my new artist, and this is what I'm paying them." Basically, that's what that works out to. Trey Ferguson, these people signed up for that foolishness.
I don't disagree.
I believe him. I'm gonna tell you, you know why I believe him? You know why I believe him? Because I sat up and watched Kevin Samuels for 3 years have conversations with women say they want a high value man. And they always want to be in proximity to power and money and influence. So they always want to be around the top dog, man. So that's the main reason why I know they probably signed up for that. Now they probably didn't sign up for all the free golfs and baby oil and all this other stuff, but I'm pretty sure they signed up
I'm just thinking that the racketeering part of it is what they have to prove, and I guess it's going to be a hard prove. That's why they want to butter the jury up with all the salacious stuff. So it's not hard to believe that he could take that step into criminality. But there was supposed to be. I mean, it's not like he's innocent as a human being. I mean, we know that, but it's what he's going to get. I don't think he's going to get a convicted on all of the counts. Everybody think he's going to get convicted. It depends on the jury, though.
I'll give you an example. Say, for instance, he walks. He don't go to jail.
He's not gonna walk, but
I'm just saying, worst case scenario, he walks. Okay,
his
life is already ruined. Nobody gonna do business with him. Just for the mere thought of
that's
being
what it's
around
about.
Diddy is a pariah now.
Yeah, that's what it's
I
about.
don't know about that one.
I'm telling you. Listen, okay.
Neither do I.
No. Lid is right. This is a lot of how everything went to snowballing. He challenged the machine, and then everything snowballed. Diddy had just got a lifetime award. Diddy got damn his fingerprints over at the damn Star Walk. What are we talking about? Once he challenged that machine, everything came downhill. Everything started to be unraveled bad. And look at how they did him though. They went in both of his properties because all this planned. They don't just wake up and say, okay, today. They planned this for months. They went in and tried to confiscate a lot of crucial evidence. It's a lot more that they're not going to reveal. But you see, Cassie ain't even reliable witness. She's not. You can't believe nothing she say. The pool boy was sneaking in on her, and he was going to with her. Yes, do this. He doing it to you. I saw it last. Man, listen, it's to me, and I'll shut up, man. This ain't nothing but an OJ Part 4. That's all it is. It's OJ Part 4.
It's just getting going. Yeah, you're right though.
He ain't even got a crime, man. Man, come on. Now it's a law. You can't fly your chick that live 3 states away. So why are people talking about it don't matter where she live at? You fly her out, you'll catch a case. Come on, man. This all games they playing with us. Man.
No, context matters. Man. Context and all of that matters, man. Everybody, look, man. You can't take pieces out of it. Some of those pieces matter. Some of those pieces matter.
And those witnesses need to appear. I need to see LeBron James, Oprah, Ashton Kutcher, all of them need to come up here and say, man, this is what happened. Because they was there. Ain't no nigga got no how many bottles he had 2 crates of baby oil. Everybody using that shit. So
let's forget about the baby because that's not a crime. But okay, so what are you talking about, 100, in terms of, I know context does matter.
Context matters. Okay, so if I fly a girl out, right, and say I have the intentions of having relations with her, when I bring her here, I know that I have intentions of having relations with her.
She know that too.
That's not illegal. That's not the part that's illegal. But if I say to her, hey, look, if you don't give me none, I'm gonna cancel your plane ticket home. Now we're in that trafficking space because now I'm putting something over her for me to get what I want from her. Like now I'm coercing her.
I can understand that, but I don't think that's what's happening. That ain't happening like that. It ain't. Listen, a good-looking guy. Don't think that's happening? A good-looking guy. Listen, women know what they do, man. They get pictures of the guys beforehand. They know if they're gonna do it or not. Some of them come out there for the cheap-ass vacation.
Yeah, I mean, I heard a couple of guys. They had a couple of ladies in his P. Diddy party. They had special uniforms on to identify them as the chicks who went down.
Too. It was men like that too.
The drug thing of saying he was drugging everybody without their will. Maybe there's something there if you could, but then you got to prove it, right? That he was spiking everybody's drinks. I mean, my whole thing is, I want to know where. I mean, I'm not following it that closely, but all I know is the excerpts that I hear from Cassie and her. I think it's just like salacious shit, man. It's just wild sex that they were having. And I don't see no crime. Say, hey, Pete, you said you getting ready to split?
Yeah, I'm gonna get out of here, guys. Have a good night.
Any last word?
No, I have a long day tomorrow. I got some stuff to handle. I haven't been off for 15 days, and I did 85 hours this week.
Oh, man, there you go, man.
Yeah,
thanks for hanging out, brother.
All right, guys. I'll see you.
All right. And what we haven't talked about, I mean, we're still gonna have a lot of time with the Diddy thing. What about the statue, the big juicy ass 100-foot statue, the chick, the Black Girl Magic statue. What about that? Because here's the funny thing: there's a lot of women who don't like that statue.
Of course,
usually it's man, she looks like your mom. Everybody has to want to be proud. She's your mother. She's your aunt.
The problem is our pain. They didn't. They didn't put the unicorn on up under, you know what I'm saying, to have a riding out on a magical unicorn with wings. You know, the BBL.
She got her hands on her hips.
You know what I'm saying?
But
to be honest with you, I think that was a lose-lose situation. There was no way to win because let's say they would have made the statue and made her smaller and all of those other things. Then it would be, why? See, this is the white man stereotype of what beauty's supposed to be. Black women are thick and we are naturally bigger and stuff. But now you got a thick statue and you don't like the thick statue.
She's not only just big and thick. She got her hands on her hips. She's saying, "I'm a woman without consequence, without accountability." I'm a woman with above reproach.
I'll pay.
I have is a label on it say "Suck my Johnson."
I'll pay. Now see, hold up, I'll pay. Come on, man. Listen, man. You put a whole lot of words in these women's mouth, man.
The statue.
But listen, man. Listen. Here's the thing that amazes me about that whole statue, right? Because let me say this. When I was young and the mother, if she was a big girl, that's as big as her ass was. That's as big as she was. And she ain't really blowed out. That woman just stands. She's just a big shoulder. But again, mothers of that time stood strong and tall like that. When they stood up, you shut the hell up. And that's as big as they got. They ain't no 6'5", 400, 300, 200. She was 175, 180 max. With 4 kids, strong boys, look like lost in translation, 6'2", 6'4". They ass went to school, they ass learned how to read. The mama wasn't making excuses about the daddy who wasn't there. She got in their ass when they got to doing stupid stuff. She fed their ass every day. Made sure they graduate high school. And they didn't make no excuses. Today, these women are just out of control with that. They passed that statue. They passed that. And they looking at that statue, how they expect the brothers to feel about it. Because they say they don't like it.
Don't care how the brothers feel about it.
Do something different. I ain't mad at it. I mean, the statue, I wasn't that offended.
Is it offended? I mean, what does it stand for? What do you think it stands for? I mean, that's what I'm saying.
Did I stand alone?
What it stands for, our pain stands for reality.
I stand alone.
Reality.
The black women, they stand alone.
Maybe y'all can tell me. I don't know who decided to put this up. I don't know who decided to look. I don't know where this came from.
It was a brother,
I don't even know.
Yo, it's a brother, yeah. No doubt about it.
Yeah, French.
He's brother. Overseas though. He ain't from America.
French brother.
French brother.
French Montana.
That's what he claimed though. He still got the big nose and big lips.
Okay, so I got a couple of videos on my channel that have the statue juxtaposed to sisters doing a whole bunch of F shit. Right? The Lululemon chicks, the ladies who try to storm the goddamn detention center, or just I got a picture of her right next to Letitia James. You can't convince me that's not a statue of Letitia James. You know, big back, right? And then of course, I have a theme song about the dark side of Black Girl Magic, right? And it's a couple of minutes long, but I'd like to play it for you guys, right?
Well, go ahead, R-Pain. Play it for us.
I'd like to play it for you guys. Just bear with me for a second.
We're going to bear with you, R-Pain.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm here to tell you, everybody knows somebody that looks like that statue.
Look, man, look.
You can't say you don't.
It makes me curious of what the statue of a black man would look like. That's really the
all right. So here we're gonna play this thing for you a little bit here. If I can't make it bigger, but we're gonna do it right now. Wait a minute, I gotta share it first. Am I sharing it?
Yeah, you sharing it. The sound is just off. That's cool. Because sometimes they have music on there and I don't want to get this thing cut off.
This is my jam. Listen to the words.
In the shadows shadows where the light won't shine. Feminist stories are told with evil in mind.
Plenty of black women stand like this.
Black beauty is masked by lace fronts and filters.
Oh, hell no.
She wears a crown of thorns while her community with us. Magic lingers in the dark unseen. This is the dark side of black girl magic. It's born from lies and ashes, leaving life so tragic. With every passing year, she neglects her sons, leaving him unprepared for the world. He's the forgotten one. Her selfish desires echo her queenly dreams of power. With every step she neglects her need for a king. And in the mirror her reflections cause her mind to wander. Nefarious spirits whisper, forget the face of your father. Gather the pieces, rest, recline, to spark. This is the dark side of black girl magic. It's born from lies and ashes, leaving life so tragic. With every passing year,
You about to wake up Lady D.
Leaving him unprepared for the world. He's the forgotten one. From the depths she must begin to recognize and reflect that black girl magic without a man is not a lasting flame.
Come on, man. This nigga ain't good.
Who wrote this, bro? Who wrote this fucking song, bro?
It's our theme song. Our theme song. It's a song we heard.
Yeah, you think you tried to sing his name.
Who wrote this shit, bro?
It's our theme song.
For the world, he's done.
This shit right here. Okay, man, I can't believe you did that shit to us, man. I can't believe you did that, man. I can't believe you wanted to play your feature song, the whole song.
Hey, man,
and you was over choreographing and everything, man. I can't believe you did that.
The crescendo.
Listen, after watching that, you showed me, you made me think about something. After watching that video, I'm mad at that whole statue now. He should have look. He could have gave the sister. He could have gave the sister a nice old piece of cake back there. He gave her the fupa, man. Give her some booty, man. Sister's got them yams. Come on, man.
Listen, that was the right amount of cake and the right amount of food.
No, man. He could have gave us some yams, man.
Stand.
Damn, he said he could have did her pre-baby. He could have did a pre-pregnant body. Damn.
Man, he could have gave her a little booty, man. I mean, come on.
They had cake. You didn't see her little hands with the hand pushing into the cake. You know what I'm saying?
Her food was stuck out further, man.
I don't even understand what the importance of it was. It's not like they put it up during Black History Month.
No,
these niggas just came out of nowhere and just threw up a random ass statue. Let's do this just make niggas mad.
It's a few of them
too. Like it's some shit that was done to just make niggas mad.
Like that. So it's going to be there until June, but he makes a lot of statues like that. He got one in England. He's a British dude. Now, they had a picture of him and his girlfriend. At first I tried to check to see if he was gay, but I saw him, but a picture of him and his girlfriend. Guess what she looked like?
She didn't tell me he dating a white girl.
No, I think she might be ambiguous race, but she's slim, pretty.
Well,
You know,
that goes what 100 Watts said, man. They laughing in our face then. They laughing in our face.
She's all gorgeous.
So you telling me there's not a black statue maker anywhere in the United States that could have did that? Nowhere, like not one, not a single one.
Well,
if somebody will tell me there's not a single one, then I will believe.
Well, we have gangbangers. We don't have artists here.
Yeah, that's right.
Remember that.
Let me just tell you.
Remember that.
I just gotta say, so you know, I got this AI generator, right? So they spit out this song to that, right? But
AI wrote that.
Well, no, they did, but I wrote like 90%. I modified like 90% of the words.
Okay, hold on, man. You up there choreographing music, man?
Yeah, man. You know, so, I mean, the whole thing about
you helping the computer be racist. That's a goddamn shame. You helping
I was that racist.
He went to Catholic school, man. He went to Catholic school, man. I'm trying to tell you, he didn't go public school.
Let me ask you, that's exactly how these feminist women are talking about. They don't think about their fathers. They forget about their sons. And they act like they don't need no king. All right, I didn't make that up. I just used what's there. I used what's in the environment. And I'm saying Black Girl Magic, when that came out, it was usurped by commercialism. And when you see how women wielded the power of all the money coming to them, that men was the last thing on their mind, right? And they forgot about everything. It's just all about us Black girls, right? It took their, I call it incessant inferiority complex, and put it on steroids. You know, so there you go. That statue is a representation of that, if you ask me. You know, so there you go. Sassy.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think that is a product of human nature, or is it a product of, you know, what they were taught?
I think it's an exploitation of parts of their human nature. Like we all have better spirits or worse demons or whatever.
Right.
It's the exploitation of the worst of them. Just like men, right? Some of us, we have some of our worst demons come out. The propensities that we might have for doing some F shit, right? I mean, those are all known, right? Stroking chicks and leaving them destitute and bitter and shit, you know, that kind of stuff. We do some stuff too, but right now in our community we're upside down because people prop the Black woman up as the leaders of the community, and look what is wrought. Right, and even if the Black man in a microcosm, you say the Black man is supposed to be in charge, but under the whole microcosm of the United States, we were never in charge, right? Because we had to battle the white guy, right, and then we had to battle the fact that a lot of our women pray to have one of those guys. You know, here's a projection. When they always used to say it was a flex for a Black man to have a white woman, the real flex is that Black women look at the pinnacle of their success is having a white man. It's always been a projection. If you look at all the so-called Black women who are succeeded, what do their husbands look like? From the Supreme Court justice to all these other men, they think it's a real big flex to get them a white man. That's why they come down when a brother who's rich marries a white woman. They make that an issue, but they say nothing. When they just try to elect one, right? Just try to this ambiguous
vice president,
yeah. They didn't say one. They didn't have one
successful women. We can't handle it.
No, yeah, yes, we can. If we're successful ourselves, yes, we can. They just don't want to be. They just don't want to live under the umbrella of a real successful Black man because we got rules. You know, they don't want no rules. You think Dougie is stopping Camilla from doing the shit she wants to do? Doug Imhoff, she ain't listening to him. You know, so
I can agree with you in the sense that a phrase that, as I've gotten older, a phrase that I hate hearing from my partner, from the woman I'm with, a phrase I hate hearing is "you were right." I hate hearing that shit. You heard me tell you some shit like, hey, you know what? I think it'd be a good idea if you do A, B, and C. And you as a woman decide, you know what? Fuck what he said. I'm gonna do what I want to do. And then later on, you be like, you know what, he was right. And then now you got to come back to me and be like, you know what, you was right. I hate that shit. I hate that you don't want to fucking listen. Like that shit boggles my mind. But what are you supposed to do? Because now I'm being controlling or misogynistic or whatever. I don't know, whatever fucking word y'all want to use to describe that shit. Like I hear what I hear what you're saying. This goes back to the video you were playing very early in the live when the dude was talking about perception, just the way that people perceive. Like y'all went all the way over to France to go find a black dude for him to build a statue to come to America, and this is what he thought of.
Yeah.
Like, at what point are y'all gonna start? Like, at what point are we gonna start understanding that the perception that we have looks like this? Because I swear to God, I wish the Zeus app would disappear. I wish that entire fucking app would disappear. Like everything on that network is just throwing drinks and girls fighting and all of that. Like,
oh yeah, I don't go there, but yeah,
I don't go there either. But it's just like shit like that, like things like that exist. These are representations of us. This is why I'm curious of if they went to the same artist and he did a black man. I'm curious of what that would look like. Like I'm thinking that if he did it, he would probably have a sagging pants. He would probably have a bandana somewhere on him. Like I'm curious of what the perception would be if he did a black man's statue. And like this shit is crazy. At what point do we start understanding that the way that we're perceived in the world looks like this? I understand that we're not a monolith and there's more black people that fit a different demographic. I understand that, but this is the perception that they have of us, and we're not doing anything to change it.
But exactly.
It seems like that way. Excuse me.
Well, we are. The voices is just not, like I said, the voices is just not loud enough. I mean, we probably could all pick out maybe 5 or 6 content creators who have major issues with the statue. But if you just went from the standpoint of, does anybody really aspire to be a big, burly ass black woman who looks angry? No, it's not inspirational. No, it's not aspirational either. Right, so she didn't have to be a beauty queen, but she could have been in shape. I mean, you ever see? Here's my thing. I mean, I'm big. That's why I could talk about fat people because I've lost 80-something pounds before, but I can still claim fatness. Right, I still got a few X's to go. So I feel good because I feel in a safe space because I can call people a fat bastard because I'm one of them. You know what I'm saying? So here's my thing. You ever saw the Flatbletics commercial, Flatbletics, whatever? Like you in leotards and shit. Yeah, they have a white woman. She's exercising. She's all in good shape and shit. She's looking good. They show a man. She got muscles and shit. Then they go to the black woman. She's at least 400 pounds in these goddamn tights doing yoga.
I remember that commercial.
You know what I'm saying? I said,
the orange on top of that.
Yeah, big bright man. Asked for days. The whole screen you had to fucking put it on wide angle. Just to get the whole shit fit in your screen. I said, man, why would they? She's supposed to be getting in shape. I mean, come on. I mean, the message is, well, you could be big as hell, and eventually, we can give you a smaller size. But all I can think of, is like I'm saying, shit. I'm big. I aspire to just be fat at one time, right? When you're too big, when you're just happy to be fat, that's cool. You're losing X's. Man, I mean, but the message is clear that this is what we think about black women. And we have a major obesity issue in the black community with women and men. But women, for sure, they're bigger than the average black woman. Kevin used to say this shit all the time. He said, man, the average black woman in a few years is going to be bigger than the average black man. Man, period. And that's just true. Average black woman is a goddamn beast. In size, shit, man. I mean, it's just true.
What's crazy is I hear what you're saying, but what if a nigga like a little jiggle juice?
Yeah, well, that's when a white girl came out and said, "This is a white girl." Go ahead.
It would all be wifed up.
Just did it.
They would all be. That's the answer to your queen.
There was a white comedian that said, you know, she put a big black woman out there. She said, "This is the only reason why this is it is because some black dude says she's thick." You know, everybody starts laughing, right? What I'm just trying to say is, Six the Goddess. If you ever saw that content creator, you gotta be able to take her for what it is. But she said one of the reasons why we got so many fat black women is because black men have such low standards. And she went into a whole soliloquy about why that is. And the shit was on point. It was on point. You know, a lot of other demographics don't buy that, man. You know, you can't be walking around. If you're Asian, you can't be walking around 300 pounds without some of those guys saying some shit about it.
They don't even put them on camera.
Yeah.
You don't even see them on the brochure.
Shit, man. Yeah, you got sued. So all I'm just trying to say is we have such low expectations, you know. And then she did a viral video when she was on Tonight's Conversation, when she said, "Man, you know, fat women are low hanging fruit for men who are on the down, men who are in trouble. That's what they go for." What's going on, Scam?
Dust as usual.
Dust.
Usual.
Dust.
Dust. Which
Scam likely.
Yeah. What's happening, man? What you got? I mean, you've been around, man. What you saw? We have many topics. Which one you want to hit today?
No, I'm just listening. Heard a lot of bullshit, but you know.
A lot of bullshit.
Yeah, you know what?
3.6 gallons, maybe.
Oh yeah, baby oil all over for everybody.
Yeah,
because it's dust in these streets.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, there's so much. I mean, there's a lot to talk about in terms of what's going on now with the Diddy trial, with with the so-called black fatigue, just a lot of stuff going on, man. So it's a lot of fun going. I mean, this is the world for the content creator. We got the the president and the politics. If you ever want to get, it's just so much shit going on now. It's a fun time to be having shit to talk about. It's never a dull moment. Never a dull moment. Stock market coming back. Oh, you guys, stock market, man. It's all good. So you guys, man, you got something you want to talk about? Anybody else? Because we've been here for over 3 hours. Golly, man, I'm old. I'm supposed to be in bed. So, you want to do some last words, man? What?
I'm wondering what bullshit scam her. You said you heard a lot of bullshit. I'm wondering what
bullshit.
I'm trying to think what I heard that wasn't bullshit.
So just pick one, goddammit.
Come on, talk to me. Because if I'm wrong somewhere, I'm willing to be wrong. Tell me where I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
He's scared of no pussy. It's all magic tonight.
Of course, Diddy can do no wrong. He was innocent. It's always somebody else's fault. He innocent. Drop kicking a woman. I mean, I'm just being honest. I ain't never, as a whole grown man, decent sized dude, I ain't never been laying on the ground and been kicked defensively in the face.
I have.
Then everything that comes after it is her fault.
Knock the fuck out.
I also don't know what it's like being connected to somebody who obviously got bodies, who've been in the industry 15, 20 years prior, and everybody 100% failure rate. And somehow it's their fault, knowing there's a word called coercion, but that doesn't exist. But y'all got it.
Yeah, but let's stick with that.
I know you're right. She was supposed to submit to his leadership.
No. The only thing
that she was supposed to, because she was a single mom.
Nobody said that. Nobody said that.
He can do no wrong. I got it.
His crime was hitting her. His crime was beating her. Nobody's talking about beating her. That was the crime. But he's not on trial for that particular beating. He paid her $30 million for that. Something like that. She got compensated for the beating. So that was wrong. But from the sex part, she wanted to be famous.
You don't see that beating as part of coercion?
No. The beating was the crime. The beating.
But in terms of keeping someone where they don't want to be, you don't see that as like that. All of that plays. That's why I said every one thing separate
when did the beating
might
start?
not be a problem. But when you compile all this shit together, now you're looking at someone who is forcing this woman to do something.
Let me ask you something, Hunter. You think he started beating her before she had sex with him?
No.
That's what I'm asking. That's what I'm asking. I mean, when did the beating start? I think
why does that matter? What does that have to do with anything?
Because, well, hold on now. Here's what it has to do with it. I think she wanted to probably start to get out of it. And then he ramped up his coercion. He ramped up his beatings on her. Right? But in the beginning,
did you hear what you just said?
Yeah, I did. And when she wanted to be famous,
did you hear what you just said?
Yeah.
Did you hear what you just said?
Yes, I do hear what I just said. And I said the beatings were a crime. But the sex part that happened before that, I don't see that as a crime. She wanted to be famous, and she was down for a lot of that shit.
All right.
Okay, so
that's my position.
So are you saying because she wanted to be famous, the shit?
Yes. No, I didn't say that. No.
Okay.
You said you added this don't matter.
Famous is a crime. That's the actual
most
crime.
people
need to lock her up for wanting.
You guys are tripping me out. You're trying to tell me people don't make deals with the devil to get what they want? That's what that means.
Who was the devil in this situation?
P. Diddy's a goddamn demon.
So what are we talking about?
Because that's not being a demon ain't a crime.
All right, Scale. Now, okay. I hear you, Scale. I hear you, bro.
Okay, how many demons are not? Show me in the statutes where being a goddamn demon like he is a crime.
Fam, that's what we're telling you right now. What he is doing is a crime.
No. What he's doing that he beat her.
The fact that he beat her, it is a crime.
I said that already. I said that.
I got you. Okay,
but let's be real now. He's already settled this case. He's an asshole. He's an abuser of women. Yes, he's done it. That case is settled. He settled. Right? Ciroc, the liquor company, they all knew his behavior before all of this. They signed him to a billionaire. He became a billionaire, still making money off the backs of black folk. And it's just all being revealed from his level. From the black man's level, this is what they gonna do. The Indian ninjas think that they gonna get bigger than the machine. Every brother that went against the machine, Tory Lanez went against he broke free from his record label. Now all of a sudden he got all his bullshit. Now we found out that was even a lie. Any brother looking to make $100 million, no, they gonna find your weakness, and 90% of our weakness is women. It is what it is. And they put the right women into play because they know the slow ass nigga go for it every time. If he's a single dude, he gonna fall for the ass cheeks every time. From the stripper, the trailer trash to the most sophisticated.
We act like we can't pass through life with two things being true. The guy is a criminal, but a woman wanting to have sex to be famous doesn't make him a criminal.
Yep, always go.
It doesn't make him. The men he was dicking in the ass didn't make him a criminal either.
No, didn't. They was taking that shit
even
regular.
Even when they fondle little boys, go find a single mom.
Well, we did this allegation for the little boys. He ain't did no little boy shit.
If there was a little boy on the stand, we wouldn't be talking about the where's the little boy.
If there was a little boy on the stand, you'd go find his aunt and blame her because she's a single mom.
Oh, that's bullshit.
Where's the little boy?
Man, if he was a little kid, we wouldn't be talking about that. That's a crime.
That's a crime. He go to jail. Right. He ain't in jail for that shit.
Oh, that's right. If it's a boy, it's a crime. But Cassie,
we're talking about underage fucking kids. So women don't want to scam me. You mean women ain't whores all of a sudden?
Yeah, that's why he messed with them.
I mean, come on, stop that bullshit, man. She wanted to
y'all let Cam come here and rile y'all up with this.
You heard the bullshit they've been pitching for an hour and a half.
A sister would have whooped Puffy's ass. He knows that.
I was back here trying to finish up my salad because I'm trying to
Then
do
Craig
big bag.
Ferguson
You know
say
what
some
I'm saying?
bullshit like
Yeah,
that.
but I like that. I do something.
His little
Help me
ass,
sleep
man.
at night. This help me sleep better once I get off of this thing. So I appreciate Scam coming up here, get my blood pressure up a little
Right,
bit.
man. You
That's
gotta
just
get
the instant dust. There's some other bullshit.
I could put some curses out there and all that kind of. Listen,
But,
man, we gotta parse words. Yes, sir.
Let's just be real when it comes
Okay.
to some of you older, you youngs, the 2-parent, 4-parent household. Look, the
Wait
truth
a
is
minute.
this.
Oh, parents.
Yeah, the truth is this. It's some people doing something that you don't like.
Right.
And you got a problem with it. Instead of saying, hey, I have something that they may not have, let me get to it and talk to them one by one. No, let me just go and blast everybody, throw a narrative out there and make the situation worse. You single mom people, what good is it? This dude from a 4-parent household going to somebody who going to 500 people who's grave a single mom, tell them the single moms ain't nothing and they ain't nothing because they came from single mom. Knowing you got posters, basketball kind of cards, and watch stuff all day of people raised by a single mom, starting with the old president. How productive is that? But when you say this, it does nothing but tear down their self-esteem and infiltrate the very thing that they're lacking. It's a word called encouragement. Most people don't have confidence and don't have encouragement. Maybe you did. Why don't you give them some of yours?
Yeah, but we weren't talking about single moms.
Really?
No.
Y'all can't go. How are we talking about single parents, 2-parent, 3-parent households? Dads is right now.
I don't
Come on now.
We were talking about,
I was listening for a while.
Hey, listen, Scam. We were talking about baby oil, man. You know what I'm saying? That's what we were talking about earlier. Well, who we got the baby oil from?
I was listening.
Well, I think sometimes you hear what you want to hear.
I wonder where I learned that from. Where did because
enlighten.
I wonder where we got that from.
Probably
hearing what you want to hear.
You know.
But when you slap labels on people, it already tells them you're something and they're not. And then you tell them they should listen to you. Why in the hell would they do that? When you told them that they already aren't what you are. And you already drew a line on where they can't be what you are. So if Hunter Watts came from a single mom and you're saying, well, I got 4 parents in my household. He ain't got 4 parents in his household. They're not coming. They never were.
Well, okay, so
you throw a label at them, talk shit to them.
No.
That's
not. But it's not. That's not a limitation that's being placed there.
No, I'm exaggerating.
I don't necessarily think that's a limitation, though.
What's the limitation? What are you saying?
Like you're saying it like, okay, so if I came from a 2-parent household and I'm speaking to someone who came from a 1-parent household, that's not necessarily like me like putting a limitation on them. It's just like there's an understanding that there is a statistical difference in the path that we're gonna go just based on the situation. A kid that's born in the hood statistically has a different route that he can end up versus a kid that lives in the suburbs. It's not necessarily a limitation. It's just a statistical where they may end up at, the opportunities that these kids, all of those things. Because you can't disagree with the fact that the opportunities is what's more important than the environment itself.
No, what I'm saying is, and it's not just, it's how it's said and how it's presented, as if these people don't sense energy from 400 miles away. Like they know you didn't walk up to them to tell them that you're better than they are and they don't know nothing.
Well,
and that's the very thing that they keep saying repeatedly for the last about 78 years of why they ain't listen to the older folks, because they talk at them instead of to them, and they don't listen to them. And they say stupid shit.
I'm gonna put it like this, Scam. It ain't what somebody calls you, what you respond to. You can call somebody whatever the hell you want to call them, and it's until they accept it. That's when it becomes reality. So I'll tell you, like you ever tell everybody else, sometimes you got to get a little bit of thicker skin, you know. And that comes with life. You keep living and you realize what people say about you really don't matter anyway.
LIT, that's another problem.
What's the problem?
You go to the weak and just say, get thicker skin. Where are they going to get it from?
No.
When you're actually, when you talk at them, you peel another layer.
Let me explain where it comes from. It comes from somebody who had weak skin and grew thicker skin. That's how you do that. It's the same way if you had a personal trainer who was fit and used to be fat and now they're fit again. And you telling the fat person, hey, look, you can do like I did. Matter of fact, let me show you.
Okay, hold on. LIT, aren't you establishing some kind of rapport?
Of course.
And showing them something? Or are you just talking at them and telling them how fat they are?
No, they already know that. Why
That's
should I tell
different.
them?
No, that you're doing is actually my very point. You got to meet people where they are.
Exactly.
First, you got to talk to them. You got to listen to them. That's where they are. You got to find out their belief level.
It is no scam.
Huh?
They have to accept that, hey, this is the opportunity to do something.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They can't just say, hey, you know, if you're going to be big, you're just going to be big and that's it. You're going to be bigger, you're going to do somebody. You know?
Well, LIT, I give you an example.
Yeah.
I recall a podcast where there was a bunch of yakety quacking about a week ago. Some dude from Birmingham got on the microphone, asked a couple questions, and he actually listened to the responses. Didn't come from a place of judgment, just talked and listened. How was that conversation received?
Who knows, man? Probably a little bit better than somebody.
No, the person I'm talking to was you.
Yeah.
A certain level of energy you gave, a certain level of judgment you didn't give, and the questions got through and the answers came through.
Yes.
Able to move. Instead of you single moms, you people over here, crack era, heroin, fentanyl area, you people, y'all ain't had 8 parents and y'all ain't had none. Ain't nobody trying to hear that shit. They're going to dust you off and they're probably going to take your wallet on the way out. But you get my point, LIT.
Of course.
I'll get your point, but if we finish fucking tongue kissing the downtrodden and shit. Some people, so all I'm just trying to say, man, is you can't always expect to go to a safe space and have people fucking tell you what you want to hear first before you talk. Either you're in a space to hear something or you're not. I mean, but in this podcast, we ain't really single out no single moms and none of that whole shit.
It's either they want to hear it or they don't. That's how it really works.
No, I didn't say it works all kinds of ways. I mean, if you want to go ahead and your fluffy pillow everybody, fine, it works sometimes. Sometimes you just got to tell people the way it is. I mean, so like you said, you want to meet energy and all this kind of stuff. So I hear where you're coming from, but it's like you only got one way to skin a cat. Shit, how effective is it?
Well, the cat ain't getting okay.
All I'm saying is, man, Justo, you've been saying the same shit ever since you've been here. You have a way of saying the same shit to say all the time.
Yeah, even in Spanish.
Listen, man.
Hey, Cass, I don't want to be bold to get the water off me, man. Come on, man.
Yeah, LIT knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, man, we was talking about Freezy. Man. We was on Freezy show.
No, because he understands exactly. I have a message that I want to deliver to these people. Now you can go in there and just be selfish, be the super crappy person you want to be. Y'all people ain't this. You single mom looking ass, blah blah. And you know damn well if somebody rung your doorbell trying to say, well, I wasn't saying they're trying to sell you donuts, but they was trying to sell you some donuts. It don't matter what they say, you're gonna buy them. But somebody coming at you that way at your workplace and whatever, you ain't trying to hear. You tell them to meet you in the parking lot. So it's like you're not even delivering the very energy that you want to receive back. And then expecting something positive to happen. And complaining when something positive doesn't happen. You brought the negative energy yourself.
Scam.
Streams, man.
No, but Scam, I can understand where you come from. I do, because you work with young people.
I'm just talking about people.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute now. We talking about grown ass folk on YouTube. Everybody's smart. Everybody got the answer. Now, what I'm saying is, from my point of view, where I come from, listen, there's nuggets from everybody, right? But what a man can't do at 40, what man can't do in America is sit down for the rest of their life and blame somebody else and talking about what they didn't get from mama, daddy, uncle, and it's everybody's fault but them. No. You have to at some point say, fuck that shit. I'm going to do for me. I'm going to do things what I need to do. So when I look back in 10, 15 years, I have done something for me. I would never tell any young man or any young woman to blame mama and daddy for all the shit that they didn't get. You're getting it now. Take advantage of it. And it ain't going to come in a year or two. It might take you 5 or 10, 15 years when you're mentally and physically prepared for what can happen. A lot of us, especially my little favorite generation, We expect life to be so, and somebody already said it. They expect a guarantee. Fucking life ain't no guarantee.
That was some more
So
bullshit.
listen, because guess what? Scam. Guess what? And I just use this as an example. We all fighting for the same position. You think I'm gonna let you get it over me? If I believe I'm stronger than you, smarter than you, better looking than you, you think you're gonna get it over me?
Yeah.
Okay, so you have that mindset. Our pain had that mindset, lost in the 100 watts, right? So as a man, we have to believe that we gonna win, even if we lose. Even if we lose, and brothers don't listen. This is a modern time. Y'all got more information, way more information. Y'all can punch a button and read that shit, but y'all have so much access. And even from my age, our pain's age, most women we talk to ain't gonna like us. It is what it is. Most guys we meet ain't gonna like us. But if we gonna put our mark in the world, you have to be selfish at some point and you can't blame others before you. You blame yourself after a while. And once you turn 21 to 41, everything you do in between that time is on you. Your mama ain't around when you getting some sex. Your daddy ain't around when you getting some sex. Your mama ain't around when you claim that you want to cheat or somebody break your heart. It's on you. So if you want to be in a good place, you have to follow the rules of life. Do that shit the right way.
If we're going to teach these people not to blame things, the word crack era should never be said. Single moms and the white man should never be said.
Crack era can always be said because it's a time and space.
It's a way to blame somebody.
No, it's not. It's not a time to. How can I blame the kid that was born in that time? It's a time and space that happened that changed the dynamic of how we move today.
Right. The word is blame.
That's your word.
So when they start blaming it on something else, you taught them how to do it.
Do you believe acknowledgement to be blaming? Do you believe acknowledging and blaming to be the same thing?
I can't understand what you're saying because I come from the crack era.
Yeah.
No, because I can use that as an excuse now. Because
you use it as an excuse, you'll always be something.
I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying, and
he taught me how to do it. That's what he taught me, right? Something's wrong with everybody in the crack era. So I can't.
No, that ain't what I'm saying. You can't use my words out of context. I'm talking about a time and space. That was a time. I was 18, 19 years old when that shit was taking off. I was in it. What I'm saying is, when most people that saw that shit, they either made a decision to get away from it, and some made the decision to get involved in it.
And
the ones that made decisions.
Most people ain't got nothing to do with nothing in the crack era. But you just want to.
These are adults. Hold on. These are adults from that time. Scam, and I'm just being honest.
I've never seen crack before, and I don't know what it looks like.
But scam, you have the side effects from it. You have the side effects from it because y'all can't find women and men to get with each other and make a family and build anything. Y'all quit everything. Y'all don't.
A lot of youngsters ain't listening.
Y'all quit.
They get this.
Y'all scared. The women. I'm done.
Do you believe acknowledging and blaming to be the same thing?
No.
Okay, so what would you say is the difference? And I'm asking that because if I understand that the crack era was a space where there was an environment for a lot of bad decisions to be made, that's not necessarily blaming. It could be acknowledging that there was an opportunity to destroy an entire community based on this one event.
Right.
So but now this created.
Somehow Trey Ferg was hiding under the bleachers somewhere. He was in one of them porter potties the whole time the crack era. He exempt, but everybody else got a problem. Okay.
You don't listen. I said that I was coming out of high school when that shit was taking off. I seen friends. I got friends that spent years.
If everybody a victim of the crack era, you somehow made it big, and they in the gutter bleeding. What's the point of bringing it up? So we can grab narratives out
from that time in space, from that time in our history. Since that time, almost everything that was built, whether it was a 50%, 60%, 70%, has been damn near wiped out. And now those kids are adults and those kids struggle with everything. Nobody's building nothing. People just do shit and then say, I wasn't taught how to do that.
Who was
but
the
they still
okay. The heroin era, right? Wasn't the heroin era that was responsible for the kids in the crack era? Which means they taught them how to do it.
But the heroin addicts didn't complain about their mamas and daddies before them.
Now
nobody can complain.
You beat them half the day.
As a man in America, you can complain to niggas all day, but go out and complain to the world and see what they say. That's all I'm saying. You can complain to the world. You still got to move as a man.
You brought this crack bear.
Right, because it's a time and space where most men right now, 40 years and under, struggle with the basics of relationships.
Cool.
And the women. Y'all struggle with the basics of relationships, but we still having dumbass kids. Then we blame the kid. Then we'll say the kids are bad. Huh? It makes no sense.
Older generation blaming
No, it's everybody right now that have kids that's young enough to have the kids. The kids are bad. Huh? Who's teaching the kid anything about dignity? Who walks around? Listen, when I was coming out, I'm going to shut up. The guys before me didn't walk around with their pants sagging. The guys before me, most of them, even if they was hustling, they went to work. If they lived with their mama, they made sure mama's bills was taken care of. They weren't sitting around with their hands out. Is all I'm saying. As a man, you got to stand up at some point and say, man, fuck this bullshit. I want better. Let me move a little different today. I'm tired of people telling me what I can't do. Let me do it, is all I'm saying. And as a brother in America, you don't have time to do that between 21 and 41, because at 40 something, we all age out in the workforce.
So somehow in 1970 and 80, all these the men was all making enough to take care of them, their mama, the dog, and everybody.
They work together. The women and the men work together. They work together. See, that's the thing. And y'all can't work together, is my point. Everybody trying to live independent lifestyle. Everybody trying to be an independent baller. Y'all can't even barter together. Y'all, it's somebody else's fault why I ain't there. Hell yeah. It was somebody else's fault why our ancestors, why my parents couldn't be there, because somebody was in control. Just the system that we have in America. We have the same option. Go to college, join the military, take a trade. The people that chose it.
When people start doing the blame, then when they throw white man, feminism and everything, single moms.
Hold on a second, y'all.
You just blamed everything.
Hold on a second, y'all.
Y'all know how to do it.
Hold on a second. Y'all have no idea what the conversation that y'all just sparked inside my mind. Trey Ferg is talking about what happened in the crack era, where people selling crack and the bad things that happened. Well, in the 1800s, the Chinese had this opium war. Basically happened the same thing that's in the 1800s. Now, the difference between them and now is exposure to advertising, exposing to media, that type of thing. Because the exact same thing that happened to us happened to them first. Now, the only difference is that they were closed off to the world once they, dumped all of the Great Britain's opium in the water and said, forget you. You know what I'm saying? And it devastated their country. I mean, they had people poor, destitute. I mean, everybody was just destroyed. Mm-hmm. Now, those people had to they had to really get it out of the mud and build a whole new society out of nothing. Most of everybody was farmers. There was no industrial none of that. No media, psyops, none of that stuff. They had to really go out there and work. And most everything that they did to feed themselves to survive. Now, fast forward to now, China is one of the largest global markets and producers of goods and services all over the world. Now, granted, they still have access to the stuff that we have access to, but they don't have access to the same exact influence, because they keep all of the crap out from the rest of the world that we're exposed to. And then they have the stuff that they're used to. Now, granted, they have firewalls and all this other stuff to get around it or whatever. But for the most part, most of those people are better off in most cases than we are. Think about it. They make more money than we do. They're married at a higher level than we do. And I think it has something to do with their particular culture.
I'm going to say no.
No, I'm just telling you what I'm telling you.
They make more than we do in China?
Their culture is different than what we have.
They can't even practice religion. There's slaves over there. What are you talking
I'm not
about?
talking about that. I'm talking about influence now. We're not talking about nothing else.
They're slaves. What are you talking about?
I'm not talking about Sam, don't interrupt me. I'm not talking about whether they're slaves or not, because everybody in America is a slave if we think about it. Now let me finish. My whole thing is this: their whole thing that they do over there is different because of their culture that they have. They treat each other with respect. They don't go around, just trying to harm people. Yes, they have cameras everywhere. Crime is at an all-time low or whatever, but most of the time, those people are just trying to get through the next day. Then we got us on the other end in America, white, black, or whatever, same type of culture, no matter what you're black or not or white. We're not getting married on a regular basis. The population is shrinking. You know what I'm saying? That type of thing. We're on camera acting a fool, twerking, and all this other stuff. We're not building like we used to. That's the problem. That's the main reason why they sit up there and told Trump, you know what? We're going to do what we do. And they were standing up to us too. Like, hey, to the end, buddy. And then we both realized we need each other. So we had to come back to the table. So they're going to rework whatever it is they need to do. We rework. But I say that to say this. They were exposed to drugs like we were, but it was something else that they decided to do that was different than what we decided to do. And I'm trying to figure out whether it was something that was influenced on their end because they decided to wall the world off, or was it something that we were exposed to because of advertising, marketing, and all this other stuff? Two totally different situations, but yet still the same. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying one is better than the other. I'm just pointing out there are differences.
What you did was pick, when you wanted to refer to us, you threw some twerking out there. When you want to refer to the 80s, you just throw crack out there. When you want to refer to China, you take their best and then throw it against the worst.
No, I didn't. I pulled their worst. I used their worst.
Okay.
I pulled them up from hunger, poverty. Yes, it's the same thing.
You pick parts of China because you can't pick parts of the culture. You got to take the whole thing.
Exactly.
And you say, well, I'll take these parts and say this is what China's doing and what we ain't doing.
No, I didn't. I just used the Opium War, which affected the whole China.
You want crime to go down as slavery in America.
What is that?
Huh? Crime was lower when we were slaves. I'm just saying. But when you pick the parts that you want, say if it was like this, then yeah, it would be like this. But you don't pick the whole thing. The narratives kill arguments.
That's not a narrative.
That's bad to say that's what these people doing. Just like the 80s and crack era, you ain't talk about the good thing. More college graduates, more professionals, millionaire. Let's just go with the.
No. I will tell you this. Now they are graduated at a higher clip than we are too. Yes, they are. And the reason why I know this is because I talked to them. Their tuition is only $600 a year. How much is our tuition compared to our income per year?
How much do they make? You said they make more than us in China.
It don't matter how much.
You knew that wasn't true.
Listen, it don't matter how much they make. It's how much they make in ratio to their income. That's the difference. Because if you can educate yourself to the same level as somebody over here on a smaller portion of your income, that makes a hell of a lot of difference.
And they want
to. You're not in debt. That means you're not a debt slave. Now let's call a spade now. Let's be realistic. Now continue with your soliloquy. Go ahead.
Okay. You went and picked knowing the most powerful thing is going direct to the source and the creator. All the morals and values, which is religion. They can't even practice it. And you wouldn't use them as an example?
I never use religion as an example, but continue.
Okay. If you know religion is the most powerful thing.
I didn't use religion, but continue.
No, not using religion. You picked.
I didn't mention religion, but
I mentioned religion. I mentioned you picked a country that
I didn't say anything about religion, but continue.
I'm saying something about religion.
You listen, Scam. I'm telling you right now, you cannot enter something into the conversation that I did not use. That is an argument. Listen, I'm telling you, I do this for a living.
That's not what I said.
Don't add it. Don't add. I didn't add it, so you can't add it. That's a straw man argument. You cannot use that. Arpain, am I not correct?
Okay, you can't mention money. Correct? You can't mention
education. You can use whatever it is I said, but you cannot introduce anything other than what we talked about, and that's on the table. That's the main
No,
reason
ain't no table because you can't introduce the table if I
that's
can't
the reason
introduce.
why we have dust panels, because people like to inject things in the conversation that have absolutely nothing to do with it to get a doggone straw man win.
Everything that you injected, I wasn't talking about it, so it don't matter.
No, well, here's the thing. Don't introduce something to the conversation like I'm asleep at the wheel.
You can introduce what you want, but I can't.
No.
That has
No. Stick with what we talked about on the table. Let's go.
As I was saying, the most powerful thing in the human mind, morality, how to live, what are you talking about? Building an organization, building community, all that stuff, is probably going direct to the creator. Why would you use an example of a country that cannot even practice that and say, look how them people doing? Yep.
I didn't use that. Again.
You use China and they cannot
I said influence. I said influence. I asked the question, what was the difference?
So here's the deal. This is what we're going to do. We're going to
let me
China and throw religion away.
No, let me explain
to the creator away. And we're going to be China.
What I was saying. What I was saying is there was a difference. You have two people who were exposed to drugs. One set of people came out of a one way, and another set of people came out a different way. All I asked the question was, what was the difference? That's all I said. I didn't say one was better than the other. All I said was, what was the difference?
Okay. Now, anybody using drugs right now? Anybody on the panel? If somebody gave you some drugs, wouldn't you flush them just like China did? Or just like majority of the people in America even did? And not take
you do understand the reason for the opium war was because most of those people got hooked on that stuff, right?
Okay. They got hooked on heroin, crack, fentanyl.
And they decided not to do it anymore because they saw what was happening to the people.
Okay.
Pretty much like what we did. We just said, hey, we're not going to do that no more. Say no to drugs. You know, that type of thing.
Unfortunately, a lot of people still do.
Well, that's on them. But those people as a country decided to say, hey, look, we're not going to do that.
No, America's not going to do that. America mortgaged their people. Maybe China won't. I'll give you that.
Well, no, America's not
mortgaged the people
because we got more freedoms than anybody else. Perceived freedoms. Their degrees of freedom is
okay, let's be real. Ain't nobody about to volunteer. If they said, look, we're trying to fix the world, turn in your freedom to us. That is not going to be no long line of people turning in their freedom.
Well, I'm saying that's why I agree with you. That's the difference. That's what I'm saying. The difference between America and China is when they went through their revolution, they put some laws in motion. You get caught with drugs over there, they ain't talking to you about no bullshit. They're killing. You can. So their way of life flushed out their drug problem through goddamn penalty.
No,
right?
You can't bring that over.
Hold on. Well, wait a minute. Let me finish.
Go ahead.
In America, it won't work here because we got freedoms that they don't have, and our freedom has a cost. In America, our freedom actually has a cost, and it has a cost that we're going to have not accept, but we're going to have a certain amount of shit that is unsavory because of the freedoms that we have.
No, I'm saying is,
and we're not giving those up. I hear you. We're not going to give them up.
If we're not giving them up, and it won't even fit with the people, why bring it up? Because we know we ain't about to go be like that. It ain't gonna happen.
The reason why they bring it up is because the same people who go through that always asking for our help.
The same people who what?
The same people who partake upon those drugs are the same ones who ask for help.
Right, but we're not shipping them to China.
No, we're not, but they're still asking for help.
Right, all we can give them is what we got here. And what we got here is rehab, and we got religion. That's what we got.
Oh, we got jail, which is unfortunate.
Exactly.
And they go get more drugs and get worse when they come out.
There's no doubt about that. That's not a solution.
But
think about how much time and
we don't have, but there's what we do have. Go ahead.
Think about how much time and resources that go into maintaining something like that. Think about it.
Maintaining something like what?
Think about that. Maintaining the drug habits. You got people who have to deal with the medical field. Then you got people you have to add the legal resources to, because I'm pretty sure there's some legal recourses to trafficking drugs and using drugs and all this other stuff. And then you got counselors that's all wrapped up in this thing. if you ask me, I would think that this would probably be a business. If you look at it from the outside looking in, you got
it's the other way around.
You got somebody taking drugs. You got somebody helping people get off the drugs. You got people locking folks up for the drugs. Sound like a business to me.
No, it's a business, but it goes the other way around.
Our pain, does that sound like a business to me? A business,
especially if you have private prisons, is a goddamn business.
Right.
That part, private prisons, food industry, which sells more drugs than anybody.
Yeah.
The food industry, big pharma, they sell more drugs, and other stuff that I won't even say on YouTube that all connect with it.
Right.
Like I said, America will mortgage their people, but we here. This is where we at.
So again, now that we are here,
it ain't gonna be China next. We ain't gonna go and make America China. That ain't gonna happen.
So Scam. No, I'll just ask you this question. Now that we here in the midst of all this fucking cesspool, right?
Mm-hmm.
What could be some things I would say 21-year-olds can do? What can be some things that they can do to better their situation for the next 10 years or so?
Okay. Number one, I'm gonna say every 21-year-old is different.
Oh, I ain't worrying about that. I'm just saying there has to be one
for a reason.
Okay. Everybody's different.
Hey, Trey, I can say one thing: stay off drugs.
Yeah, that's one. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, just give me some basic stuff. Okay. Every man is different, and every man can apply it differently. So just give me your plan of 5-6 things that people can do, regardless of where their head space is. There's something that they can do.
A generic thing is going to be is non-individualized core values.
Okay, give me one core value.
I'll just say religion in general.
That's not a core value, but I get you. Come on.
Going direct to the source.
Belief in God could be a core value.
No, I'm saying access to the source.
Yeah,
and that's the foundational thing. Get connected as far as you can to the source. Diet and fitness. Get this garbage and whatever. It's not good to wake up every morning at a -6 because your arteries, veins, and your brain is clogged with seed oils and mutated food. And you're on your way to the hospital 3 days out the month. Don't start at -5. At least be able to start at a 0. Diet and fitness. Confidence. Unfortunately, most of whatever is pulling from people's confidence.
Most of what is pulling from people's confidence? Because most people are coming, Scam. Reason why I asked that, because most young men are coming out the house broken confidence. They're already getting into the playing field with broken confidence. So I'm saying,
right,
that's why I'm mentioning confidence. We're saying the same thing.
Where does broken confidence come from?
From by default, I'll just put it this way: by default, from the most people that we expect to love us. By default, our parents. If our parents don't love us in a balanced capacity, a lot of people don't have the confidence to deal with the world.
Okay,
I agree with that. Upbringing.
Let's assume that our parents do love us. What's next?
Say it again.
I said, let's assume our parents do love us. What's next?
Now, it's. I'm sorry.
Lack of encouragement.
But
what's next?
Yeah, because if our parents love us, then we can say encouragement of a child. But most young men don't get encouragement from their parent, our parents. Even if we living with our parents, a lot of people today I just use my age on under. We don't show our children that we love them by our actions.
Why not?
Because I'm caught up in what I want to do. I'm selfish. Because I gotta have a life too, Jody.
Why you gotta have a life?
I gotta have a life too.
You got responsibilities. You got a kid that
needs encouragement. I'll give a graceful response. This is a graceful response.
Come on, Cam.
A lot of the parents do not know how to encourage or show love in the way
But that's bullshit, though. That's bullshit.
No, it's true.
That's bullshit.
Is it an excuse? No, I'm telling you, it's true.
That's no excuse, though.
Question. Hold on a second.
No, it doesn't matter if it's an excuse. I'm just saying that. All I'm saying is that it's happening.
Let me ask you a question, Scam, for scholarship.
Okay.
How can we prove that? How can we prove parents don't know how to do that?
To them. Talk to them and talk to the kids.
Let me ask you. Say I'm from another planet, okay?
Mm-hmm.
and you say that the reason why these people can't do what you just said they did is because they don't know how to. I'm from another planet. Explain to me how from the outside looking in, how could I see that without just taking your word for it? How could you prove that to me?
You have to spend some time talking, listen to the people. Because surface
how
level.
How many does it take?
Huh?
How many people will I have to listen to get a decent sample size?
You're asking for a 2-minute quick Pop-Tart answer, and it's way deeper than that. It's not just a simple surface level thing.
Let me ask you a question. Do you know where I could go? Who someone on your planet keeps up with this information? Where could I go?
Talk to people. Talk to the people. No, not talk to people. Listen to the people.
I ain't got time. Who you got researching stuff? I'm from another planet. We do stuff different.
You might need to go back to the other planet.
We try to find out people who do this stuff for a living and say, hey, they already talked to the people. What did you come up with?
Well, I mean, hey, I want a detailed answer, and I want it right now in 16 seconds. No,
well, don't y'all have people on this planet who do that?
Huh?
Don't y'all have people on this planet who already do that for a living?
Who do what?
Talk to the people.
Okay, but if you won't even listen to it right now, why would I send you to a counselor? You ain't gonna listen to me then.
No, I just assumed that you was an intelligent species, and you guys have already graduated to the point of gathering this information. So I just assume I go straight to the point.
Can I interject though?
Do you really want the information?
let me interject. Here's my thing about the parent thing, right? And you might be partially right, wrong. Most parents think that they give their encouragement to the kids by the deeds they do for them. And here's my thing. Whether it translates in the kid's mind the way it should, I remember in Fences when let me finish. When Denzel Washington talked to his son, came to him and said, "Do you love me?" And he answered him, he says, "Shit, boy, you got food, you eating, ain't you? You got a place to live, ain't you?" I'm just saying, you could come in with wait, hold on now. You could to Denzel, all the encouragement and love that he was giving his son was by the fact that he was taken care of. Right. And so he didn't convey it in some kind of way for this kid to interpret what was happening. Because the only reason why I'm saying this, because I have that kind of conversation with one of my daughters. I said all this because she kind of looked at some situations different than I did. And I'm thinking, I'm a great father to you, you know? And so we had it wasn't a big deal, but, she saw the situation different. It's funny that it took years before we talked about it for us to actually understand what was going on in the situation. Right? I can tell you, I'm being real quick. I can tell you what it was. She got a scholarship to the University of Buffalo, but she wanted to go to Rutgers. And so I'm happy as hell she got a scholarship because I'm thinking about the money, right? And I said, well, okay, you got this scholarship, but she wanted to go to Rutgers. She got accepted to both schools. The way she started to cry about me sending her to Buffalo, and she thought that I just wanted to get rid of her, right? Because of the cost. And I'm saying to myself, well, shit, you got a scholarship. As you're the first kid, I said to this, you're the first person I ever saw get cry on a scholarship. But she wanted to go to Rutgers. I guess where I sent her? I sent her to Rutgers. Right? And then it turns out in my mind, Rutgers is like 20 miles from my house. Buffalo was 400 miles. I said, I'll pay the cost because I like to have my daughter close to me. I told her later on when we had this conversation, if you were a boy, I would have sent your ass to Buffalo. Right? But just for my daughter, but I said, if you get some loans, you're paying for it. But for her, she thought I didn't love her because I wanted to send her to the school at my best convenience. I said, shit, I was making that good. So what I'm saying is, so, you can't say this, I'm a bad parent because I didn't break it down for her to say I loved her and that she didn't get it. That's what you're saying. Most parents do right by their kids if they're taking care of them just by doing that.
Arpain, you're proving my point.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
I'm saying no, I'm not. You're thinking everybody has to have these fucking one-on-one conversation with children, man. There's a lot of shit going on, man. Sometimes the kids got to get some of the shit that you're doing for them and know that that's love. That's encouragement. Hey, listen, you're being taken care of.
You're proving my point.
Good.
What's your point?
Okay.
Put it on the table.
There's a thing called Maslow's hierarchy of needs. It's pretty popular.
Go ahead.
Food, shelter, and water means you're raising a goldfish.
Boy, you got
It
means you're raising a pet.
You can't apply. Man, come on.
He's using social service terms, man.
I'm gonna give you more detail. Give you more detail. I'm gonna
go ahead, man. Go ahead, finish
your words. I'm taking care of you because of food, shelter, and water, which slave masters gave to us. So I guess we're taken care of because we had food, shelter, and water.
You know it, man.
We stick all the way to the lowest level.
Let's get the adjectives out, man. Just we can put a goldfish here. We can put a slave there. You know what I'm saying? We can put an ape here. Let's leave the adjectives out, but go ahead and make your point.
Here's the deal. You said something's wrong with the kid because they don't understand the way of love or whatever. You, the parents, are the ones supposed to deliver the message.
I didn't say something was wrong with it. So it was a misinterpretation of the situation.
No,
say someone's wrong with it.
It is a direct interpretation. You said something. They heard. You're the parent. They're the child.
That's right.
You delivered the message and it was not received. But it's somehow their fault.
It's not their fault. It was just a misunderstanding.
But let me hold on. Let me go back. Let me go back to something else that I'm gonna just translate what I actually heard. I'm an outsider. I don't know you.
But you're not an objective observer because you're trying to prove a goddamn point.
I can't even get the words
out. Man, how you gonna say? Let me hear what you hear. Like I said, you hear what you want to hear.
Can I finish? It's pretty simple.
Go ahead.
She want to go to Rutgers. UC scholarship. I money. Me.
Goddamn right.
There you go. I, me, the parent, my money, me. If it was a boy, I'll send you away, but you're a girl, you close to me. I, me. Instead of, hey, why do you want to go to Rutgers? What is best for you in your future? No, I, me.
You don't have no children. You know what? You see the way you're talking away because you don't have any children. Right? Think about this. No. Let's stay with the I thing. It's not me. It's not me and her.
That's
it's me. Hold on. Me, her mother, her sister. But I have to look at the whole picture. It's not just her. Yeah. The $125,000 I had to pay over 4 years instead of
talking. I mean.
What the fuck you talking about? I'm the one who's responsible.
Yeah, you goddamn right.
I'm curious about something.
Come on, honey.
The part about the son being sent off versus the daughter. Why did that rub you the wrong way?
Because he's weak on his daughters.
You're telling to me or him?
Yeah, no, he's telling me.
No. Scam.
Oh, I'm sorry.
When Arpain said, because Arpain said, if you were a boy, I would have sent you away, and you didn't like that. Why did you not like that?
No, I didn't like the whole thing, but most of it had to do with. This is the complaints of the children to the parents. And it's the same thing. Not listening, not caring, or not expressing love in a way that they understand. Okay. It's common. It's all the time. And I just got a live example.
No, I do think there's an element here as well, where the child does have to understand that what you want isn't going to is not important.
Their own life. Their own life and their career is supposed to be for their dad.
Based on the shit that I can
provide. So now let's go with the scenario that we're on right now. Let's go with this particular scenario we're on right now.
Let's go.
If I, as a father, I have 4 kids. Okay. Mm-hmm. So my oldest child.
Hold on one second. Let me clear something up. I don't think you don't love your daughter or nothing. I'm only attacking the conversation and not the personal thing. As an outside person hearing because it's the message. Let me clear that up.
But you remember now, this message I sent to you is just the surface part of the conversation, so you can't get all the details. But you're making a lot of emphasis. Okay. It's a good conversation.
I'm using it because this stuff really does happen, and there are people like I'll let it go. But I think
no. But let's go ahead. 100 was saying something.
100. I just wanted to clear that up because I don't want to be super personal shots.
Nah. Some of it, I don't think you're wrong in a lot of what you're saying, but I think that it is important for us to make sure that we are telling our child that you're still a child, homie. Like you only have but so much say in what the fuck is gonna go on around here.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? So in the terms of sending a child to college, he still has a home to take care of, a wife to take care of, and another child to take care of and get through college. So now he has to make the decision about what is best for the family, whether I send you to this school that 800 miles away and I don't have to pay this money versus me just taking the L and pay the money just to appease the fact that you want to be close to home. Like those things have to be considered. You as a child, you are in a space where you don't want to leave home. And I can't allow that to be the reason why I put our family in a financial distress because I'm trying to appease you being afraid of spreading your wings. Sometimes you do have to be mean to your kids and say, no, get your ass out my house and go spread your wings and fly. Like sometimes you do have, I think the problem with children, sometimes we do have such a high level of let's coddle the babies and let's talk to them. Sometimes they just need a footnote, because when they do become adults and they go out into the world, people are the reality. No matter what we want or what we think, the reality is nobody's going to sit down and have a one-on-one conversation with you. To be honest with you, most times because I've been a manager in restaurants for a while, and I'm gonna be honest with you, most times when I fire somebody, I'm not about to have a conversation with you about why you fired. I'm about to fire you, tell you turn in whatever you need to turn in and get your ass out. Because we've probably already had this conversation multiple times about what you need to do and what steps you need to take to be in a better position. And you decided not to listen. Take your ass on. That's how it works in the real world when you become an adult. So I'm gonna do that to you as you're my child in the house. So that way, when you get out in the world, you ain't gonna curl up and cry, calling me, talking about, I don't know what to do.
Why is there a narrative? Why is there a narrative that it's only one or the other? You're either a tyrant sticking a foot in the kid's ass, or you're coddling him.
Wow, that's a tyrant. Come on, Scam, man.
Scam. I can rephrase. I can rephrase what I say because I do understand that may be a little aggressive. I can rephrase what I'm saying. No, I think that it is important.
I'll give you. I understand that you did say in there, had these conversations multiple times. That's different as a manager. And I'm only attacking just some of the conversation because I see a lot of the holes. This is what people are really dealing with. And some of it's not just conversation, it's actually their life. Meaning there are parents talking to kids about college or whatever, and they really are just only thinking about their damn self. That's really happening. There are kids going through something, and the parent just saying, "Be tough."
Hold on, man. Yeah, but you're being disingenuous a little bit.
You're telling me this repeatedly.
You're being disingenuous because you know what the result is.
The thing is, Coach,
wait a minute, Scam. You're being disingenuous because in the end, my daughter did go to Rutgers. She did go to Rutgers, and she graduated, and she got some loans that she had to pay back. I told her she was going to pay them back if she got them, and she paid them back. So it was a different lesson there. And in the conversation I had with her later on, a few years back, where we brought up this situation, the way she thought about it and the way I thought about it, all she said to me was, "Oh, you know what? I didn't think about it that way."
Mm-hmm. No,
and what I'm saying as a parent, you can't sit down here, but that was just that one situation. But she knew she was loved. She knew she was encouraged. That situation, she wanted something from me that I had to make a decision. It wasn't her decision to make, but I had to make the decision to send her to Rutgers because I knew what it meant. For like my man 100 watts was right on the money.
No, I got you. I'm only talking about certain, like I
told you. I'm not taking it personal. I'm just trying to say this is a good scenario. Like you said. This is a good. Sometimes real life shit is real good because it didn't really damage us the way we had the conversation. Might sound more detailed. She didn't go there. I paid the freight for her to go to Rutgers. She's successful now because she went to Rutgers. So the result for me is pretty cool because what she's doing, she actually got a job in a profession, got promoted and doing all that kind of good stuff. But my thing is, as a parent, man, sometimes like 100 watts, I can't say it better. You got to make some decisions that you can't sit down and have a negotiation with your kids.
No, I agree. All I'm saying is this. If it's something as serious as them going to college or them telling you, I don't think you love me and all that kind of, that's a time where, yes, there needs to be a conversation. There needs to be a whole bunch of listening because something may really be wrong. And it's not
to
just,
be honest,
you're not being tough. You got to be the world.
I'm
telling you, there are people doing
with,
this. I'm not saying y'all.
Hold on a second, fellas. Let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you having this conversation at the door on the way out? That should be a conversation that should have been had since the child was a child, growing all the way up. So
I agree.
Why should this be a conversation at the door?
Well, LIT, I'll say this. Giving grace to parents. You might think I'm just evil and just beating everybody. Sometimes parents miss the cues, they miss something, and then it all explodes.
Yes,
and now it is time to have it at the door. But yes, you should have it, but sometimes some are missed.
Here's my thing. I don't think we expect parents to be perfect. I don't think parents expect their kids to be perfect. I just really don't. Because parents already know that they're not perfect.
They don't.
You know, all we can do is just do the best that we can, knowing what we got. Now, I will tell you this.
Mm-hmm.
You can't know what you don't know if you don't know you don't know it.
That's true. That's why I said grace.
But here's the thing.
Most parents give their kids grace.
You still know that you can do whatever it is that you're doing better. And that's when it's up to you to seek out additional information.
I agree with that 100%. But our pain, I'm not just beating up saying, I'm just talking about a thing that's heard, how it could be delivered. And I'm telling you that stuff is happening.
No, I'm hearing you. Like I said, I'm not taking it personal. That's why I brought up the scenario.
And you
Senator
Rucker's everything rocked. Hey, cool.
Go ahead, Honey Watts. I want to. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
I do think that with parenting, a lot of what you're teaching your kids you're not. How can I say that makes sense? Parenting is planting a seed. Like my oldest child, there's a lot of things that I'm giving because she's at the age that she's at right now. There's a lot of things that I'm telling her, a lot of game that I'm giving her that's not going to make any sense to her for the next 10 years. She's probably going to be in her 20s by the time what I'm saying to her makes sense. Excuse me. So right now, if you spoke to her right now, she probably could give you some of those complaints that you're talking about. My parents don't listen to me. They don't care. Like she probably could give you those. It wouldn't completely be true. Like that would not be the case for real because she in her mind has what she believes her parents should be doing. And we're not doing it that way because we're prepping her for 10, 15 years down the line. So now she is at the age where we got to take away some of that fun, kiddie, goofy, hip hopscotch shit. Like we got to take away some of that hopscotch stuff. Like some of that childish stuff, we have to take that away from you and put some of the responsibilities of being an adult on you now.
Hey,
so now because we're go ahead.
Let me finish. No,
go ahead and finish. But I got one question. Go ahead.
Because now we're putting the expectations of you being because we're adding some of these expectations of you being an adult, it's going to look different and it's going to make you uncomfortable and you might not like it.
Yep.
I think you probably answered it. I just want to make sure it's clear. Because you were saying some stuff is like you're giving knowledge for the future and you're saying she might not like. Now, the question was going to be, why does she think the way that she thinks? Or why does she not like it?
Because you're taking away. No, because it's uncomfortable because you're taking away some of the childish things that she would do as a 6 or 7 year old. Those things aren't allowed anymore. Now the expectations of you, my expectations of you as a teenager is to now start becoming a young adult. So because you're 13 or 14 or 15 now I'm going to start putting the expectation of you being 18, 19, 20 years old. I'm going to start putting different expectations on you now while I have you in my hands, while I have you in my arms. I'm going to put 5-10 years on you because you're going to be gone by then. And I can't put this game on you then. So it's going to be uncomfortable because you're
Oh, go ahead. My bad. I'm trying not to cut up.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
When she says, y'all don't like me, is it just kind of just the talk, but she really knows y'all do? Just to uncomfort and pout and walk to the room? Or is it a real, I don't think you like me, I don't think you love me?
To be honest with you, I think it could be a combination of the two. It could be. As a teenager, it is possible that it is both. And when she becomes a grown adult and she has kids of her own, she's going to sit down with her mother and she's going to be like, you know what, Mom? I told you that I didn't like you and I apologize. I understand now why you did that. That's going to happen. I've had that conversation with my father multiple times where I've sat down and be like, you know what, Pops? I thought you was an asshole that summer where you made us do that schoolwork when I had to go. But you know what? I understand why you did that. I appreciate it, Pops. Like I've had that conversation with him because that's wait. As a teenager, I don't want to be in the house doing schoolwork. I want to be outside with my friends. Her as a teenager right now, she want to be outside at the mall with her friends. But no, you're going to get your ass here in this house. You're going to read this book. Like right now, I'm trying to get her to start learning Spanish. You need to start learning a second language. You should have already, but we are where we are. I need you to develop in a second language. And school is over in the next 2-3 weeks. And she think that this shit about to be sweet and she about to be kicking it off. Nah, homie. We still got work to do. And that's one of those things that she's going to think that we don't like her. Or we're trying to control her. Or we're trying to take her away from her friends and all that. That's all that bullshit that you're going to hear from someone at that age because they're thinking from the perspective of themselves. So that I that you said Payne was talking about, that's what the kids are doing. They're thinking I, me, I. Mm-hmm. They're thinking of themselves in an immature way that doesn't match the maturity of the parent that's trying to give them some development.
I'll say something y'all might disagree. And I'll just leave it alone. I've seen the selfish side where you pouting and just close your door and you're mad, but you kind of know that the parents is right and you just spoiled and want to do what you want to do. But when it's a level, even if it's wrong, if they don't like me, they don't love me, there's a level of pain that there's something that comes with it that is extremely painful and hindering. I'll just leave it at that.
Here's the thing: the mere fact that they're still alive is proof of love. You know what I'm saying? I said the mere fact that they're still alive is proof of love. Right there.
Scale, listen, brother, you work in this field, so I can understand your sentiment. A lot of people that work in this field, they start taking on the pains of all the other poor little kids. I understand where you're coming from, brother.
Because I know what it does.
No. It doesn't. Listen, because at some point, those same people understand how they can manipulate others to sort of warp into their ideologies. Now, here's the thing. Listen, here's the thing. You heard from fathers of their children, right? You hear from fathers of their children. And yes, as children grow and as parents, if you, because most of us know who our kids are. We know who our kids are. And we can see things that they can't see, like he said, because they had a kid, right? Now, let's just say, I'll say this. When all of my nephews and my son turned 8 and 9, I took them all out on the football field. I got them all some equipment, man. I mean, y'all go learn how to go up against a tough situation against your peers. That was just my man thing. I play football, so yeah, you're going to learn it too. Half of them was scared during that moment. But once they got through their experience, we sat down and we talked about it. How'd you feel in the moment? Were you nervous? Did you think you can do it? No. But did you do it? Yeah. How do you feel now? I feel like I can do anything. Yes. You have to go through a little bit of troubled time. But see the scam, but if I would have been telling them, as a black man, shit is hard and my parents didn't teach me nothing. No.
Yeah,
I can't do that. Mm-hmm. But again, I couldn't. I never worked in a space where I'm going to allow people to make excuses why they can't do something, because when they get to the reality of it, they can do it. When they face with the true meaning of what they're facing, they can do it. And I've seen so many people work in the field that you do, and they start taking on those feelings of those young people, and then it starts becoming too much. No, you are the beacon for them to being great. They come to you already in that broken space. Here we are, despite this broken space. Let's talk about this broken space. How do you feel about it? What did you think about it? How can you be better than the broken space? That's how you lead them out of it. And now I'm the adult. I'm setting the expectation. I'll shut up. I'll say this real quick. I used to take an exercise with every kid that I had in a group. I used to have 4 groups of 15 guys apiece. I would get all of them's transcript, and I would redact their names and all their personal information. And everybody would be given a sheet of paper, and we're going to add up all the A, B, C, D's, and F's on everybody's report card. And then we will put it up on a big board so everybody can see. Come to find out, Most of them were in the middle, C average. Few of them had F's and D's, but most were about average, right? So now you want a job, where you want to work at, Scan? You want how much you want to make? $100,000. So your GPA has to move over to the A's and B's side. You can't have the D's and F's and expect in life, once you get out of high school, that you're going to be working here. It don't work like that. You set that mindset today that you are going to do your best. Even if you don't win every race, you always competing. And a man cannot go from 21 to 41 saying that they don't have. The information is at a click of a button today. I used to have to go to the library. Loss had to go to the fucking Dewey Decimal System. Our Payne had to go to the damn catalog, and we had to find that shit. And when we found it, even if it took us 30 minutes, we felt like I know some shit now. Everything is right there. And that's why I say, as a young man, you have to take advantage of the information that's there. I came from a home that's broken. Mama cussed me out. Daddy ain't shit. Do you want to be that same daddy? Okay, well, you can't move like daddy and mama. Well, they had me. They don't get along. Okay, do you want to not get along with your woman? You can't do that. You can't move like that. You have to be in a space that you know you can do it. I used to tell people all the time, young people all the time, man, you got to believe that you can do that shit despite what you went through. You can't, it's just a different mindset that I believe for me, what worked for me is telling young people that, yes, you went through it, but however, you survived it. Now you take control. Because when that light bulb come on for most of them started to get their grades, they graduate, they go to college. Most of them are married. Most of them are working regular jobs, taking care of their family, and they doing what they need to do. So it's not going to come out at 100%, but especially when you're young, as long as you stand at that steady pace, putting in that steady work, when you turn to that age of wisdom, 40, 38, 40, that's when that shit start to come back to you tenfold. And now your children's expectations are to be great too. So this is just my point of view when I come from it. So
I like that example.
Damn, you old nigga, so I ain't gonna take it easy on you. I ain't gonna be like, oh, sweet, say yes, yo, no, fuck your feelings. You old. But I respect you. But as men, we can't bring our feelings into a space to give each other positive energy. It's about what it is. That's all.
Well, I'm just saying, it's almost where people take, kind of say it. The example you gave, the first thing I like is you establish a level of confidence and buy into the program. And you said you want to get here. All right, cool. We're going on the football field. I'm going to show you how to get there. But then accessing where they are during the thing. Oh, I felt good. I can hit anybody. Established buy-in, built a rapport. Now I actually checked on them and guiding them through whatever. Or y'all said y'all wanted to make $100,000. I need you over here in the A's and B's. $100,000 got to be over here in the A's and B's. That was when there's time for them to object. Video games. Then you say, "Oh, you play video games? I need you to get over there in the D's and E's line." I can't. Then it's the actual baseline. But I'm just more saying, like, when people don't buy in, there's parents have blind spots. And I'm just talking in general. I ain't saying that. There are blind spots. And us as children growing up, looking at some of the stupid stuff we did, it was during them times of the blind spots. Or it could have been something said that was too off. Or I needed to ask you something. You wasn't there. You just said, "No, we got this," and sent me away. And then you leave me open for the dumb shit.
Listen, Scam, we hear you. I mean, yeah,
I'm saying, it's not a whole coddling and you have to sit and listen to everybody. But if somebody is neglected, or it's a time where it needs some extra listen, extra explaining, because everybody different, or somebody's telling you, "Hey, I don't buy into this program. Something ain't clicking."
I got you.
It might be time to dig just a little bit deeper.
We got you. I was going to kind of go through some final thoughts on this thing, man.
Okay.
So why don't we go around the horn? I mean, you could start, Scam. I hear what you're saying. You start with, then we go with 100 watts, and then Coach Ferg, and then you lit. Go ahead. Any final thoughts, Scam?
You talking about me first?
Yeah. Any final thoughts on whatever we talked about tonight? I mean, this was a good subject to end on, but it was pretty good.
Yeah, first of all, shout out to y'all. Y'all know me. If I hear something, sometimes when I blow stuff up, it's not about you, it's about the people that are listening.
For sure.
Or it might be a communication thing. And I'm still learning myself because I got to learn how to hear these messages as well as deliver them to the audience. I'm gonna be in the hot seat one day. You never know when it's coming.
Yeah, we're gonna lather up that hyperbole that you're using. Put some of that mustard dog.
No, and I got
a whole book of matches called Scam Likely on it.
But everybody doesn't fit in a box or into a narrative. We're individuals. We got our own goals and dreams. And people do need to be listened to before they need to be talked at. That's a fact. People are hurting, and most people don't have what they need to have or didn't get what they needed to get. Yeah, we can just kick them in the butt and say, go to the library. But understand, you're kicking somebody who didn't get what they were supposed to get. Everybody doesn't go from a 2 to a 10 overnight, but they can get from a 2 to a 3. They can get from a 3 to a 4. But sometimes get one thing, 2 things, 3 things. People do feel. Let's not pretend that they don't. We say your feelings don't mean nothing. No, people feel. If you don't believe me, piss them off. They're gonna make you feel. But shout out to everybody on the panel. Some good stuff being taught, and thank y'all for being there and trying to help people be better. That's my only thing. 3 words: people being better. That's all I got.
Gotcha. Thanks, man. Go ahead, 100.
You next.
I think that unfortunately, if you behind the curve, you need a little extra push, and it look like a foot in the ass sometimes. Okay, but I think that I always do my best to make sure that I point shit out like this. I think that panels like this are amazing because there is a perception that Black men don't have the ability to communicate and talk to each other. And this conversation that we had tonight, even in moments where it seemed like it was getting passionate and everything like that, nobody got called out of their name. It didn't get crazy disrespectful. We were able to actually have a constructive conversation that came to the end where we were all just like, all right, guys, so that was great. Instead of it having to be like, all right, you know what, I'm tired of hearing y'all listening. Let me just end the live, right? So I always appreciate being able to have representations for people to see. And I don't know how many examples they need because it's never good enough for people. But Black men do have the ability to control themselves, communicate their thought processes, be able to feel emotions and get in and out of them. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's important for this to happen more often and to be recognized instead of just glorifying all these bullshit dust panels that be going on. I love y'all, man. I love y'all.
All right, man. Thanks for coming up. Go first.
Man, hey, honey, Watson, man, salute, man. You know what I'm saying? At least you make us feel like we being old ain't just going to waste, man. But, you know, the 2 things, Scam, man, I'll be glad when you get that great son, our daughter, man, that you yearn for, man, and you give them all of that scam likely knowledge, man, and help them avoid the situations that we find ourselves in today. No, man, listen, man, excuse me. You know, I don't claim to have done things the right way all my life. I was in the streets. Well, not selling drugs and them, but with the ladies. Yeah, I was taking advantage of my ugly looks. They liked me, so I used it to my advantage. I didn't try to take advantage of other people. When I realized I wasn't going to give my best, I just moved on. I didn't think about it. You know what I'm saying? So, and here we are today, you know. Listen, man, again, I think Law said it best, man. There's no guarantees. There are no guarantees, man. You just got to continue to work and focus on trying to be better, whichever path that is. At a certain point in your life, you have to do things the right way. You have to. You can't blame anybody. I'll say 35 years old. About 35 years old, you have to change your whole image almost. And you have to move with intention on the people that you hang around, the things that you do, how you exercise, how you eat. Those things are really important. How you spend your money. And those that get it, get it. Those that don't, eventually you see it spilling out in the wash. We got 4 years, man. And I say that because the world is coming here with the Olympics. When them folks start coming here from out of all these other countries with that money, they looking to move in spaces that we are not taking advantage of. So any brother, man, Just keep doing what you got to do. If you can, at some point in the next year or two, buy your house, man. Even if it's a 2-bedroom, buy it, fix it up, learn the skill to fix it up. Get your stake in this property, man. Get your stake in America, because when these other people start moving in, once they get through sorting it out, if you ain't plugged in, you ain't gonna be plugged in. And ain't gonna be nobody you can cry to. So, salute to the men that want to be better, man. Salute to the women that want to act right, man. Great show, man.
All right. Lit.
That's right. Whether y'all know it or not, man, I appreciate y'all for coming up and doing what y'all do every single week. I don't think people realize why we do what we do. It's for us to get better and to also create better leaders as well too. And we have to lead by example. And sometimes we don't always have the answers, but when we do have the answers, we want to make sure that we spread them as much as we can so people can use them. One of the things I wanted to talk to you guys about is finding out how to motivate people. And one of the ways that I found out is find out what their PMF is, what their primary motivating factor is. Basically what it is, you find out what motivates them, what moves them, what they're passionate about, and show them how they could get to where they need to get to so they can get what they want to get. For us, if we do that, then at that point, we're adding value to that person's life. And I think when you add value to somebody's life, they'll be more apt to listen to you versus someone yelling and screaming at you on a dust panel. So I appreciate you guys, even though sometimes we may not always see eye to eye at particular moments in time, but we definitely do respect each other. And I think in the grand scheme of things, I think that's one thing that we can pass on, whether you're black or white, whether you're male or female, whether you or whatever race you decide, or gender specific, or whatever it is you decide you want to do. Respect is something that crosses all boundaries. And I think as long as we're adding some type of value to help other people to become better leaders, then I think that's the basis for making the world a better place. Our pain, as always, it's a pleasure. Trey Ferg, is always a pleasure. And I want to thank you guys for coming up and also being active on the Black Men Unfiltered Network.
You got it. Yeah, man. I don't have nothing to say, man. It was a good, I think the last, offering up that last example was pretty good. We had a good conversation about that. I hear where Dusto's coming from, but I think some of it is you have to kind of be there to see the nuances of having a child. But of course, if your kid feels alienated and unloved, it's going to manifest itself in other ways besides just a conversation like that. So, but you can't miss it if you're too hard line. But so I know where he's coming from. But the standpoint is sometimes the kids just gotta. I told my daughter that too. I said, listen, we were never equals. I said, you my kid, we ate on the same par, So I said, you had to understand. I told her that when she was young too. I said, sometimes they just got to hear it. I said, it has nothing to do with love. You can't get everything you want. I mean, unless you're running the show. So anyway, but I hear where he was coming from. Anyway, so I don't know, but you was I was gonna close down. What you was gonna close down? What?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and close it out, man. Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna go ahead and wrap everything up. Make sure you guys hit the like button, hit subscribe, hit the share button too, man. We want to make sure we increase the numbers. Banking on y'all coming up, showing up is good, but we want to make sure we spread the word too. And
Absolutely.
Also the shorts have been dragging in some new people too. So I appreciate the Black Man for putting that up and cutting that up. We had some good feedback from that as well too. So I'm gonna thank you guys for coming. R-Pain, did you want to say anything before we get up?
Listen, I like it. Some of the things that 100 said, talking to stuff, that was pretty good stuff there.
Yeah.
About with kids, I thought it was good. Because he kind of explained some of the things I was trying to get across. It was pretty good. So I'm glad he's starting to pop back up.
Indeed.
Anyway, that's it for me, man.
Before you go, make sure you guys hit the Cash App. Make sure you do that because this thing don't pay for itself. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the reasons why we're gonna make sure we do this. Make sure we show love to Black Men Unfiltered, man. Let them know we appreciate him doing what he do. So I putting this on, man. I really do appreciate that. So with that being said, thank you guys. Good evening and good night. Peace.
Yeah.